You like the way I say that? Black Friday. It all sounds a little worrying, doesn't it? When you say Black Friday, it doesn't sound particularly happy, does it? How are you all? Don't get much guitar feedback with headphones. Nope, I don't. How is everybody? For those of you in Los Angeles, in America, in the United States, I should say, because America obviously is much bigger than that. Did you all have a rather lovely Thanksgiving? Did you all have fun? Eric's touching something. What are you doing?
You keep going. I forgot.
He forgot to set something up, he said. So, did you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun indeed. You're in Switzerland. Let's see who we got on today then. We have Tim. Please hit the like button as well. That would be absolutely amazing. And if you can share this, that would always be fantastic. So Ross who lives under the console. Hey, Ross. That's an inside joke. Lauren. Hey, Lauren. Andre. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Frank. Hey, Alan. Hello, DJ Croji. Hey, Drazen. How are you? Drazen's had 3 beers already. Congratulations. Tim says, hi, Warren and Eric, who's leaning over me here. David, he's setting up something he forgot to set up. Music Man said, love to come to the mighty America. Then you should. Sal says, amazing Thanksgiving. Only 5 of us, but it was fantastic. Yes, ours was only 4. It was just my wife and my 2 kids. That was a lot of fun. We did eat a lot. Philip says hello from Worcester in the UK. I hope everyone is safe and well. Yes, we're doing marvelous. Ross says it's a bit warm under the console at the moment. How do you get your mixes listened to? Well, these are all Academy members' mixes, and we're going to go through 10 today in real time and listen and discuss. If you're not already Academy member, you can join below. There is a ridiculous deal on at the moment, so you can join us. And this is what we do every Friday. So every Friday we do this. We do a live stream. The only time we don't do live streams is when I take the very occasional holiday, or as Americans would say, vacation. And I'll have to be honest, it's pretty occasional. I can't remember the last time I took a holiday. Yeah. Especially with the travel restrictions that we're all under, I haven't been anywhere or done anything. Has any of you? It's all rather strange, isn't it? Chad says it was his birthday yesterday. Wow, he got a 3/4 size upright bass. Wow, that's a heck of a present. And you're playing along with Miles Davis records nonstop. That is wonderful. Absolutely amazing. Wow, 400 people here. Please hit that like button. It's always lovely when we see the like button hit. And if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. Eric, if you could change the screen, we'll go and start listening to some songs. Very excited to hear. So, first up, we have Matthew. Matthew says, here is my mix of Robert John and the Wreck, Blame It on the Whiskey. I dug deep into the multitracks and found this jewel. I chose it because I really liked the live feeling of the song. It's my 3rd mix, still using Reaper and only stock or free plugins, mainly REQ, Luftakas, that's a Marg EQ3 plugin, Precision for Warren, who was raised an eyebrow on it last time. Oh, that's nice. So a Marg EQ4, they have a free version of that? Crazy. The Camel Crusher, a limiter number 6, and Epic Verb. I really wanted to add some SSL 4000E on the drums, so I had to have this SSL Spank before I purchased it in the meantime. When I saw the drum brands, it sounded awesome, but I found it didn't improve the global mix, so I removed it. Maybe I need to learn using it, so do not fit the greasy southern rock. You might want to just do it in a bus before you hit the actual bus, the drum bus itself. What I quite often do if I'm trying to do that is obviously either do it directly on the kick and the snare or have a parallel kick and snare bus. So you have one going through with all the processing you've already done, and then one that's just got the pop, 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 spanky SSL-ness on it. Great. So let's give it a listen. Matthew said he upgraded to DT770s. So I don't have to go to my car to hear the low end anymore. Oh, fantastic. All right. Blame it on the whiskey. Let's check out the mix. Chaz says Lifticus is a free Marg EQ4 clone with a nice air band. Oh, interesting. Here we go.
Blame it on the whiskey. Blame it on the bad weed. Blame it on the only thing you've ever seen. Run and tell your mother. Blame it on your brother. Blame it on the only thing you've ever heard. Tell it in a tall tale why you was a raising up here, falling like the hardest stone that ever fell. Blame it on a bad dream. No, it didn't mean a damn thing. Anything to keep yourself from coming clean. All you do is lie. All you do is try to deny. All you do is lie. Even when you know it just ain't right. All you do is lie. Now you're getting older. You're still looking over your shoulder. Everybody's moving on. You're growing colder. So blame it on the whiskey. Blame it on your company. No, it really doesn't matter all that much to me. All you do is lie. All you do is try to deny. All you do is lie. Even when you know it just ain't right. All you do is lie. All you do is try to deny. All you do is lie. Even when you know it just ain't right. All you do is lie. All you do is try to deny. All you do is lie. Even when you know it just ain't right. All you do is lie. Blame it on the whiskey.
Pretty fantastic. I have to agree with you. Chris just said it is interesting. There seemed to be some, like the drum shifting a little bit in the timing, which I'd never noticed, and I tracked the song. So that's really that's interesting. I heard the same thing, Chris. I don't know whether the drums feel like they're slightly back. What DAW was Matthew in? I don't remember him saying. I wonder if there was a slight delay compensation thing going on. Or just the way, sometimes in a mix, the relationships make you focus on things ever so slightly different. It wasn't terrible, but there was definitely fills that felt like they were dragging and behind. So I'm with you, Chris. So my overall feeling is like I really enjoy it. But number one, more dynamics. Like I wanted that drama of when the first drums come in, because you hear the guitar riff here.
Blame it on your brother. Blame it on the only thing you've ever heard.
That could be just a little bit, just a little bit more drama. I would almost sort of exaggerate, for instance, one of the things you could do is, this is ridiculous. I'm doing this on the whole mix, but I'm just doing the fade.
Only thing you've ever heard.
Like just a little bit more drama in this. This is all me, doing stuff on a 2-track. This is not that you should be doing this inside of the mix, but
Blame it on the only thing you've ever heard.
So what I did there is just ridiculously overdo the dynamics. So I faded down that part, ever heard. So you could just bring that down on the, this is mixed in a box, but just that, the console move where you bring it all down and then, gachong! So the drama is more.
You've ever heard.
Maybe some room on those drums, just push the room so it's go. So it's just a massive thing. So that's the first thing I would do, is just look for moments like that to bring in more drama into the mix. I'm emulating it obviously on a 2-track. There was a couple people saying that they thought the bass could be louder. I felt like this was the bass, like absolutely perfect. I was really impressed with that. So one of the things we often get is bass dominating kick drum. And that's got a lot to do with the fact that so many people are mixing in smaller, rooms with little speakers, and they can't quite hear the low end between the kick and the bass, and they struggle with that a little bit. In this instance, I feel like the bass was in a pretty good place. Like, for instance, if I was going to go and master this, let's go and grab just a good old-fashioned REQ and put a little bit of 60 in there.
You've ever heard. Tell it in a tall tale.
Yeah, I feel like the 60 to 40 area is really covered by the kick.
Tell it in a tall tale. Why you was raising up here.
Yeah, that's nice. I think the low end's pretty good on this. I was quite impressed. And that's one of the biggest things I think we get a lot of is the discussion on the low end, like getting the kick and the bass drum and the bass guitar to feel separated, but still pushing and still being powerful. So I think that Matthew did a really, really good job here of keeping that low end great. The next thing for me on my notes as it was going down, it's just the dynamics thing. It could be everywhere. So when the chorus finally comes in, I'm not hearing that like, wow, smack me over the head drama.
Anything to keep yourself from coming clean. All you do is lie.
So that should be a build. I mean, that literally, again, what I'm doing here is on the 2-track, so it's not. That should have punched in. That should smash me over the head. That's a build. They're going dum 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 dum. It's not supposed to be dum 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 dum. So the problem is when we start compressing things, and it happens to us all. We start compressing, we lose some of that drama because all of the natural dynamics that's being played by the artist is being removed. So in this instance, I would probably just kind of fake it. Again, I'm doing it on the 2-track. This is not what I suggest, but just a little bit of this. And then, so you get. That's probably a little bit too much. And then when the chorus comes in, it needs to be a lift. It needs to be. So I would not have a problem with taking this chorus and all of this should be done in automation within the track, So now there should be a little bit more drama happening. So you want to get in there and you want those drums to just kind of build. Dum, 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 come, and then make the downbeat smack you over the head for that drama. All you're trying to do is just reproduce all the energy of the musicians, because once you apply compression and EQ and you start flattening things out and making them more even so they sound good coming through the speakers, you can overdo it. And it happens to all of us. But, you know, when you watch a great mixer, and I talk about this a lot with Mark Ender, when you watch him mix, faders are going crazy. There's tons of fader moves. So all that drama I just added there by that build, that should be in the mix. It should be in the mix. Like I said, get the drums like tum, 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 tum. Get the guitars to chug and just come up in volume. And they're already there in the performance. It's just that they're going to be reduced with any kind of compression that's on it. So, you know, just reintroduce that. And then don't be afraid to like get that, you know, that band to smack you over the head in the chorus.
All you do is try.
But it's interesting. It's it's pretty simple. These are the only real things that are bothering me with this mix. The low end on this is really good. I'm very, very impressed. It's more drama, and by getting more drama, it's more dynamics in the mix and everything. So it's really fantastic. Yeah, Chu is saying, yeah, less consistent, a little bit more excitement. Yeah, it's like there's nothing wrong with applying really good compression. I love the way that the compression is on this track. It's fantastic. But you are going to have to reintroduce some of those moments. And not all of them were there in the band. It's not like the drummer can suddenly, you know, up the ante that much. A little bit of manipulation has always been there in record making, you know. It's the movie magic, the music magic has always existed. Wonderful. Wow, it's great to see so many people on here. 618 people at the moment. Fantastic. If you're not subscribers, please subscribe. We love having you here. And check out the Academy. There's so many Academy people here in the chat. If you have questions about it, ask them. Yeah, Jacoba said, does feel the sound of the track. Yeah, I think it's a really good mix. Matthew did a great work. Again, though, you know, it's finding those major points that's going to improve the mix. It's not all about like a hi-hat being half a dB too loud or an extra 2 dB of 7K. All of that stuff, it becomes kind of pointless when the overall sound, the global view of the mix is what we should be taking into account. All right, next up is Ferdinando. And Ferdinando says, I've approached this song with an intent of enhance the bounce given from the drums and the bass and the guitars. It was quite difficult to have the voice bright and upfront without obtaining harshness. I wish I had soothe for this song. So it's a little darker, the darker my usual vocals, but I've tried to remove some high frequencies from other instruments in order to let it shine a little more on the high end. Happy to hear your feedback. Great. Oh, is this the one mic? This is the one mic one. So this is quite a challenge, this one.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you found the right man who'll fix it for you. And now you're shopping myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Oh, why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie. Valerie. Oh, Valerie. Why don't you come on over, Valerie?
Wow. You make me sound good. That for those of you that are not Academy members, or just, you're here as Produce Like a Pro subscribers, that is the multitrack we did maybe a month ago now with one mic. That was just one microphone recording everything. Now, obviously, it wasn't us playing live in a room with only one mic, but the drums were only recorded with the Lewitt 440. Yeah. The Lewitt 440. I wish I was an affiliate salesman of them. Quite the reverse. We actually do the opposite. We have, inside of the Academy, we actually have student discounts for them. So, Academy members get them at student pricing. And we don't make any money off it. We don't make any money off it because they make great microphones. I mean, that was a phenomenal mix. Ferdinando, I loved it. Okay, everybody's agreeing here. The kick was massive. I mean... You saw me fall off my chair at the beginning. Let's listen to that first kick drum again. It's quite fun.
Well, sometimes
It's like, whoa! It comes in, it completely blows up your head.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water.
But everybody bear in mind that's not an Academy member or hasn't downloaded these multitracks yet. It's just one microphone on a kick drum, but it's one microphone on the whole drum kit. So the microphone's pointed above the floor tom towards the snare drum. So the only way to get the kick to really sing is to go to 60 hertz and boost it like crazy, which is what I did on our mix. And I just think Ferdinando maybe went 2 dB too much. So just back down that 60 boost a little bit, high pass your bass ever so slightly more so it allows the kick to breathe and it doesn't have to be so loud. But wow, what a great mix. So my notes were, as it was going down, Ferdinando, were I wrote, number one, low end on the kick is huge, and I wrote that in capitals. So dial it back a little bit on that 60 hertz boost. High pass your bass just a little bit more aggressively so the low end on the bass on the kick drum will breathe. I wrote vocals are amazing. If you think that's harsh, I think that's perfect. I love what you did on the vocals there. Ferdinando, are you here today? Is Ferdinando here? I thought the vocal sound, is everybody with me? Wasn't that vocal sound amazing? It was in the track like a good rock and roll vocal, but I heard every single thing. Great. Absolutely fantastic. So the electrics, though, when they come in, particularly on the chorus, they sound like they're being squashed a little bit too hard. The way we recorded them through the Fender Deluxe, we had the Tone Master amp, the Deluxe Reverb Tone Master, which is just, is gorgeous sounding amp. There's something about that amp that's just a little, in a good way, just a little bit compressed already. There's no real need to add much more compression. It just seems to just be rounded. So I think the difficulty with this song is if you apply some of the usual kinds of extra couple of dB of compression that you would on a standard electric guitar sound, it starts to feel a little bit too much. If you listen to the top, that's perfect.
Well, sometimes I go out
amazing to believe that drum sound is one single microphone on the drum kit.
Since I've come home, well, my
The horns I thought were fantastic.
and I miss your ginger hair
That's where the low end on the kick is getting a bit crazy.
over to me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie.
The guitars, maybe you could shave a little bit more. You could get a little bit more high passing on those guitars. It tends, the low end starts to really choke the song there. With the kick, the extra low end on that little E flat guitar part there is just starting to eat up a little bit too much.
Valerie. Valerie.
There's a big build up of the low end on the kick, a little bit too much. I think once you shave off some low end on the kick, do an extra tiny bit more high passing on the bass and the guitars there, I think it'll work out much better.
Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't care.
I loved playing that bass line. The bass line in this song, because I just copied the original bass line, is totally genius. I love this song. It's interesting because this was a smash hit twice. In the UK, it was a top 10 single for the band, and then a top 10 single again with for Amy Winehouse and Mark Ronson, where they did a more jazzy version of it. Shows you how good the song is.
I hope you found the right man who thinks of
So this is the only other thing, I think, with the compression on the guitars, relaxing that a little bit, you can hear it just...
found the right man who thinks of for you.
I'm hearing it just a little bit too aggressively.
Now you're shopping anywhere.
I think your vocal is amazing. I don't know. I understand you wanted to use Soothe, which is one of my favorite plugins, but that's an amazing vocal sound.
Shopping anywhere.
So this is the only other thing. There's a beautiful second acoustic guitar part comes in, and I miss it. It's there, but it's just buried.
Shopping anywhere. Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? Did he have to pay that?
And I think it's just getting a little crowded. The low end in the mix is just compressing everything a little bit too much, and those acoustics could have maybe done with an extra, more aggressive slope on the high passing just to help them get out of the mud. So I love the low end on this song. I love the low end on your mix. You just got to tidy up a little bit so it's not quite competing with the master bus so much more. Wonderful work, Ferdinando. And yeah, that's that. Like I said to everybody, that is a single mic. That is only the Lewitt 440 on every instrument. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, Angry Clown. Lots of people didn't know that it was already a hit for the Zootons. So it's quite okay, you know. The Zootons were they are an amazing band. I think they're still together. The drummer's playing with Graham Coxon, and Matt Bellamy from Muse. They have their own band. Okay. And he wrote to me, and he loved our cover. So if he's watching, fantastic work. All right, next up is Peter Gabriel's Salisbury Hill and Frozen Colours. Mixed it. Hey everyone, here's my mix of Salisbury Hill. Finished most of it in a couple to 3 days, but made some subtle changes. Changes over a week, I see. Took advantage of the openness, became more apparent in the outro. The vocal wasn't buried in the mix, took care of that. Hopefully I succeeded. Would love to hear your thoughts. Discovered a new trick while mixing. Platt multitracks usually have H3000 tracks in this one. This one didn't, so I started messing with a free plugin called Wider by Infected Mushroom. The claim is it brings no phase issues, which it actually very much does. Okay, I went 200% on the Wider on its own. It sounded like like the H3000 soloed. So yeah, you use it on 15 to 20 watts, so it really have a cool effect. Okay. Trick is easy, free, and quick. I'd like to hear Warren's thoughts on it. Okay, we'll see what it sounds like. Very much more than water and parallel distortion. I think what I'm going to do, Frozen Colours, is I'm going to stick a trim plugin on so we can check out the fate. We know what, we'll do that afterwards. So we're going to give it a listen. Here is, and this Salisbury Hill, this was one mic as well. Which mic was this? I can't remember. This was a one mic video as well. We like doing this, just taking one mic and tracking a whole song. Here we go.
Salisbury Hill, I could see the city light. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out of the night. He was something to observe. Came in close, I heard a voice, standing, stretching every nerve. Had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information, just had to trust imagination. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Son, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Hey, back home. It's keeping silence, I resigned. My friends would think I was a nut, turning water into wine. Open doors would soon be shut, so I went from day to day. Though my life was in a rut, till I thought of what I'll say, which connection I should cut. I was feeling part of the scenery. I walked right out of the machinery. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Oh, back home. When illusions spin her net, I'm never where I wanna be. And liberty, she pirouette. When I think that I am free, watched by empty silhouette, who close their eyes but still can see. No one taught them etiquette. I will show another me. Today I don't need a replacement. I tell them what the smile on my face meant. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, I said, you can keep my things, they've come to take me home.
It's good. There's a lot of it I really, really like. First of all, I just like, Mikhail's voice is just so good. We've got to do more. We've got to do more videos with her. I think Eric would like that.
Yes, please.
Eric's got a crush. Anyway, so what? Huh? Oh, busted in like 1,000 people live.
Oh, thank you too.
Busted. All right. Just and she's age appropriate for you. She's about the same age as you. That's whoa! Look at that. Anyway. Sorry about that. I can't believe we're live and we busted Eric. All right. So, yes, I agree. I think that the chat's been really good on this one. Yeah, the low end on the kick is massive. I mean, it's huge. I mean, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand just how loud this kick drum is in the mix. I mean, it could be a dance track, you know. But yeah, that's loud. I mean, it's like the only thing when it plays. It's like, what happened to the rest of the track, you know? Just for snitch and sniggles, I'm being silly here. Just because I can. Just because I can. Just remember, this is the 2-track. No, nobody should do what I'm doing here. Yeah, it's so dominating. So the kick drum, you know, in the when the toms aren't playing, I think in general, and when there's not that much going on, needs to just come down. Now, a couple of things you could do, you know, I think if you gave this to a mastering engineer, for instance, the first thing they would do is they would just grab like a really aggressive limiter and just smash the schnizzle out of the top of that. We've got 7 dB of gain reduction going on there. Yeah. But you see, the guitars don't get any louder. It's all it's doing is catching the kick, but that's showing you how much louder the kick is. Anyway, that's what a mastering engineer would do. It's not what I suggest you do, though. So let's bring the kick down dramatically. I think also, you know, a little, yeah, it's just absolutely huge. And like, you've got an initial attack. You hear that attack. But the amount of bloom there, whoop, I mean, that's all in that sort of 40 to 60 range. I mean, to be honest, the other thing I think a good mastering engineer would do is probably, well, not even probably, definitely. So it's around about 70 to 80. It's probably dipped so much. I mean, it's amazing what you can do in mastering with that, and then put some limiting over the top. You could probably smooth out that excessive. But let's not do it on the master bus. Let's do it inside of the mix. So get in there, bring down that low boost that you've got going on the kick. I mean, I know you probably want it to feel more like a dance song and have the It's great, but let's have it tamed. So a lot less on that sort of 80 area you've got there. It's about 70 to 80 hertz that's being aggressively boosted on the kick. Let's bring that down. And then, you know, for me, the toms, you know, early on, they're sort of there, but they're not loud enough. And then when they come at the end, they get louder, but I want some room on them. I want I want to hear some air. I want this to be a bit more dramatic. I know this is Salisbury Hill, so it's pre-Melt, which was his next album, where of course Hugh Padgham invented the gated drum sound in a townhouse that we all came to know. But the reality is like, I think that would be perfect for the song. Some like big toms. The next thing is, and I know everybody said it, is like the delay is too late. If you're going to do, da 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 ba hill da ba da ba ba bum na na. That's great, but the moment you go da ga da ga ga da ga 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 da ga, it's too distracting to have it so late. I love delays on vocals, and this is always going to be difficult because this song, of course, is in 7/4. So being an odd meter time, you better get this in time. But I think it needs to be I need to have that like immediate. 1, 2, it needs to come in. A quarter note at the latest later. So, but at the same time, the very end where there's no main vocal, but it's going out here, I really enjoyed. It doesn't bother me there because there's no lead vocal that's distracting me away from it. So I do like delay versions. I also always wanted when she's doing the ad-libs at the end, when Mikhail was ad-libbing, I always wanted to hear more delays and reverbs. So that's okay, but I do think you need timing on this one. Not all the time. I don't always advocate that delays have to be perfectly in time. Sometimes it's nice when they drag, but in this one, it's in 7, and it's got that constant kick going that you need those delays to be timed to make it work, and not as long. Great work. It's always fun. Thanks everyone for doing this and supplying, mixing the songs so we can talk about it. I mean, it's quite brave, let's be honest. You've got 835 people listening to your track live at the moment. So thank you everyone that's willing to share their mixes with all of us. Hi Davey, says he's late again. That's quite all right. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's all rather wonderful having you in here. Okay, so next up is CJ. And CJ says, hey, Plappers, here's my attempt on this song. Okay, great. This is great. So this is an artist called Lauren Taylor. She was on a big Disney show, and I wrote this song with her. It's like a Disney pop song, but it's got real instruments in it. I play guitar. It's kind of funky, and I'm excited. Lauren Taylor, she's very, very talented. Let's give it a listen.
Other girls may take your shit, I ain't gonna deal with it. They might let you call the shots, but with me, you're not. You know I don't fall for your games. Keep it a boy, watch me walk away. If you want to call yourself mine, be a man and just treat me fine. Make up your mind, don't waste my time. Be a man and just treat me fine. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. 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 Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
firstly, thank you everyone that's complimenting my playing on this. Yeah, that's me playing. I played everything on it, but that's me playing bass. So thank you. I appreciate it. And I like the Duran Duran reference. It's interesting because I think that John Taylor always expressed that he wanted to be Bernard. In America, Bernard, and in England, Bernard Edwards. You know, we all grew up loving Chic and Sister Sledge and, of course, everything that Nile Rodgers did. And, yeah, I remember my first covers band when we'd go out and tour. We had 2 girl singers, and we would do Le Freak, you know. It's just like, I love the way that Bernard played, Bernard Edwards, depending how you want to pronounce it, played. Just a phenomenal musician. And so I take that as a huge, huge compliment. Obviously, I'm not a shade as good as he was, but phenomenal player. I mean, on the whole, I really, really enjoyed this. I thought it was a great mix. And just to answer, Neo Platypus says, you know, I'm talking about adding stuff. Yeah, that's the thing about Inside the Academy. It is called Produce Like a Pro. It's not just another, we're not just another channel obsessed with mixing, you know. It's not... We're not just, it's about recording, it's about production, and it's mixing. So you can download any of these multi-tracks and do whatever the heck you want to them. We have people completely remixing them. We have people replaying parts. You name it. We do the whole shooting match. So you can do it. You know? So if you want to try downloading this song or Salisbury Hill or any of these and do your own stuff, please do it. Gail says it's funky. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I really liked it. Yeah, I thought everything on the whole was great, except for, once again, the low end was massive, absolutely enormous. You know, and in a dance world, that's kind of cool, but the sustain on the kick goes on forever.
Other girls may take your shit, I ain't gonna deal with it. They might let you call the shots, but with me, you're not. You know I don't fall for your games. Keep it up, boy, watch me walk away. If you want to call yourself mine, be a man and just treat me fine. Make up your mind, don't waste my time. Be a man and just treat me fine. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, it's really helping. I mean, I'm dipping out a lot. I'm dipping out over 4 dB at 60 hertz to try and control that kick. So I think, you know, you need to do that inside of the mix, CJ, but it's really cool. I feel like the vocal can actually sit louder. Cry9C says, you can never have enough kick. Yeah, so Sal's saying maybe a little bit too much low mids were cut. Maybe it could do a little bit more. I bet for me, the song is super poppy and the vocal could actually come up, the lead vocal. When me and Phil come in, because it was Phil, my old engineer, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, when we come in with our ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba parts, they're actually loud and great. But I would love to hear like more of Lauren's vocal in there. So I think vocal louder, kick down, and maybe a little lessening on the low mids a little bit. But pretty darn good. And once again, a great song for people that want to get in and do additional production. Same thing with Salisbury Hill. There's no bass guitar on that. I didn't put any bass on it. That I did it all with electric guitars and acoustics. So you could have fun with that and really work on that track as well. All right. Next up is our good friend, Mr. Ed Krause, another wonderful Academy member. Are you here, Ed? Is Ed there? Okay. And Ed says, hey, Warren and fellow plappers. This is a song called Renegade by Jeremiah Red. It's a free course in the Pro Mix Academy with Phil Allen, mixing indie rock. For me, this is all about the rock guitars. Everything else is built around the vocals. Picked up 4 new plugins since the last mix to play with. Brainworks, SSL 4000E. Put this on every track. So we gave it an SSL mix. And while doing everything made it sound bigger, thicker, and richer. I love the compressor. Kazrog True Iron uses some of the vocals, harmonica, bass, and snare. Waves J37 tape machine. Put this on the master bus to tame some transients and fill out the bottom. Shadow Hills compressor. Put this on the master bus after the tape machine. It took a little learning to get it to play nice, but once I dialed it in, I believe it had much more depth and width to add it to the mix. Wow. Very excited to hear. This is a great track.
I'm not too sure about the things that you do. I'm not too sure what you say isn't true. But you're free, and that's the only way I know you wanna be. Oh, my dear, bless your heart. You're not as pretty as you thought. I wanna treat you like a renegade. If it's alright, it's alright. I wanna treat you like a renegade. If it's alright, it's alright. Hold me all night, bless your soul. You're right, I'm wrong. I never thought I'd be that strong, be that strong. I wanna treat you like a renegade. If it's alright, it's alright. I wanna treat you like a renegade. If it's alright, it's alright. I wanna treat you like a renegade. If it's alright, it's alright. I wanna treat you like a renegade. If it's alright, it's alright. And
So what's interesting is, like, overall, this is one of Phil Allen's tracks, yeah? Yeah, this is one of Phil Allen's tracks. So I was just talking about, Phil was my engineer, co-writer, co-producer for 12 years, something like that. And he and I did a lot of records together, lot of albums together. And he won a Grammy for Adele, he recorded Someone Like You. So he's pretty darn talented. So this is one of his courses. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I really like this, Ed, but I'll agree with a lot of people who commented. It's overall, it's got a sort of a harshness to on the vocals, for instance, but just it gets a little exhausting. I like it to be exciting, but if you listen here,
I'm not too sure about the thing.
on that vocal, it's a little, it might be the saturation you were using, I'm not sure, but also the cymbals tend to sound a little thinned. I'm not a big fan of boosting high end on cymbals. Like, what? No, I don't. I don't usually boost high end on cymbals. I feel like maybe a little bit of air or 10 to 12K, maybe a little. If I'm going to do anything, I'll just cut the lows, the low lows, because I don't need a double printed kick out of time with it, you know. So I'll cut the low lows, and I'll probably cut a little bit of low mids, like 350, cut those out. So I kind of get a dip like this. But I don't usually boost much at the highs because all I'm doing is turning it up. And it sounds like the cymbals are a little pss, 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 a little wispy. The snares are pss, pss, bit too much 7K for me.
I'm not too sure about the things that you do. I'm not too sure.
I'm just hearing kind of hi-hat on the snare there. It's just like, I think it's a great mix. It's a great song to mix. But in general, it's like a 7K sheen on too many things. There's a lot of competing. So after a while, because it's like between 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and up, it gets a little exhausting. So by the end of the song, I'm sort of reaching to turn it down. That's really my main discussion point on that. And this is a good point to get global. Let's go to the end. Yeah, Phil's saying the snares are also a little scratchy. I think it's that extra 7K. And again, like Phil's saying, probably bring the bottom snare down a bit.
If it's alright, it's alright. I wanna treat you like a renegade.
And Daniel wants more cowbell. I agree. You can't have enough cowbell.
If it's alright, it's alright. I wanna treat you like a renegade. If it's alright.
Well, another thing you can do, Alexi, if you don't want to use drum samples, you could use the drum sample to control the gate on the live snare. Sometimes that's the advantage. Like often I can put a live snare, you know, a sample against the live snare and then use it to control the gate because the sample will be so much cleaner to open and close. And you can also take the sample, even a copy of the live snare, and nudge it forward ever so slightly so the gate opens without cutting off the front of the hit.
If it's alright, it's alright. I wanna treat you like a renegade. If it's alright, it's alright. Oh.
Well, the great thing about the Academy, Rick the Explorer, is like there is no genre, as you can tell. We have a 70s rock song. Then we had a cover of a song from the mid-2000s. Then we had a late 70s acoustic song. Then we had a pop Disney track. And now we've got like a desert rock kind of track, but more like The Cult. This song reminds me of The Cult. We're all over the place, genre-wise. Okay, next up. Great work, Ed. See if you can control those that high mids and those highs. Next up is Bob Lowe with Crazy. Now, talk about another thing. This is a live in the studio. Bob Lowe says, another season 9 Plapper mix. I think Steve Emma's become my new favorite male singer. He's amazing. Oh, by the way, this is Steve Magora who's singing. He's now the keyboard player and background singer for Toto. And this was recorded by Daryl Thorpe, who's won 9 Grammys. So he's quite talented. So you get to mix Daryl Thorpe's track, that Steve Magora from Toto's singing. The band was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Blair Sinter on drums, amazing. Bob says he decided to keep it really simple, just a small amount of clean up EQ using a Fab Filter 3 on the bass. It's a tough one because this is stand-up bass. So this is really all over the map, shows you what kind of genres we do. Then I watched Warren's Best of Old School Reverb Trick video and had to utilize it. Great. Delaying instruments with different amounts of pre-send to the room verb. I love what it did, and I think it sounds like they're all in the same room. Amazing. Excited to hear it. All right, Bob Lowe, Crazy.
I've been baptized by fire. I've been going insane. I'm a guitar man with whiskey in hand and drugs in my brain. I've crossed borders and seas, played for princes and thieves, but nothing else matters if you ain't with me. I'm going crazy, crazy for a woman like you. felt this way before, and that didn't turn out well. So now I'm starting anew. I've been lying here all damn night, dreaming up ways to get back to you. What could I do? What could I say? Is there anything left to make you feel the same? I've been baptized by fire, I've been going insane. I'm a guitar man with whiskey in hand and drugs in my brain. I've crossed borders and seas, played for princes and thieves, but nothing else matters if you ain't with me. I'm going crazy, crazy for a woman like you. Someone said to me, man, you gotta be crazy for speaking your mind. But I can't control my brain, and you might not feel the same, but I don't mind wasting my time. 'Cause what if you knew, and what if I'd stayed? Is there anything left to make you feel the same? I've been baptized by fire, I've been going insane. I'm a guitar man with whiskey in hand and drugs in my brain. I've crossed borders and seas, played for princes and thieves, but nothing else matters if you ain't with me. No, I'm going crazy, crazy for a woman like you. Oh, a woman like you. Summer nights in these city lights, they fade away, yeah. So tell me I just might take a flight tonight if I could just see your face. Oh, I've been baptized by fire, I've been going insane. I'm a guitar man with whiskey and none, and drugs in my brain. I've crossed borders and seas, played for princes and thieves, but nothing else matters if you ain't with me. I'm going crazy.
Yay! God, I love that song so much. Steve, yeah. Steve, he's the background singer and keyboard player of Robert John and the Wreck. So he's double featured today. He got in two different things. But now is the background singer and keyboard player for Toto, and is also an amazing solo artist on his own. And he's actually doing some courses for us as well. And he's stupidly talented, like amazing pitch, incredible singer, multi-instrumentalist. He runs circles around most musicians I've ever worked with. It's absolutely fantastic. So I think a lot of the problems that people are pointing out, I agree. As I was saying on an earlier mix, actually it was on Ed Krause's, I'm not a big fan of boosting high end on overheads and particularly hi-hats. Actually, I can't stand boosting high end on hi-hats. I hate the sound of a hi-hat that's like pss, 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 pss. To me, hi-hats should be like they should be thick, they should be mid-rangey. But cymbals in particular, I'm not a big fan of like 7K and above being boosted. No, I can't. And I think what we're hearing here is a little bit too much. Pretty much everybody has said that the clicking on the ride cymbal is just driving them a little crazy. Like, see what I did there? Anyway, so it's just, it's unfortunately hearing that ticka on the ride cymbal. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. And I think there's no need, especially on a jazz kit, like a little jazz kit that our good friend Blair Sinter had. There's no reason to boost the highs and the high mids on that. You can just keep it tucked in there. And also, I think that the overheads provided a really great image of the drum kits. So I don't know if I would EQ them too much. I would just cut some low mids and some low end, but I certainly wouldn't brighten them. There's no need for them to be brightened. And then, of course, the age-old problem with stand-up bass. It is massively difficult to mix because a contrabass, a double bass, a stand-up bass, an acoustic bass, there's 5,000 different descriptions for it. I remember somebody debating me on the right term, and I'm like, I try to use them all because, like everything in life, there's always going to be somebody who's right. But the upright stand-up contra double bass that they were playing, acoustic upright contra double bass stand-up. Anyway, the one that's being played, of course, there's always going to be that unevenness of notes. Now, don't get me wrong. This is one of the greatest jazz bass players in the world. And Dave is phenomenal and probably more even than anybody. But you're talking about stand-up bass and you've got a little kick drum because Blair bought a jazz kit, which I think, was it like an 18 or a 20-inch kick? It was a tiny kick drum. So you've got to do a lot of work there. So I'm not hearing any lows on the kick. I think I want a little bit more thump on that kick, and I think you're going to have to get a bit more aggressive with the compression bob on the bass. I mean, it's close, and the vocal sounds phenomenal. And a couple of people were mentioning the piano. I get what Bob's doing. What Bob's doing is he's panning the piano to the right and the guitar to the left so they get out of the way of each other. And it actually works, because visually, if you go back and watch the video, the guitar was over on that left side and the bass player was leaning to the right, but the piano was sort of centered. You've got to do what you've got to do to make it feel like a band in a room. So I would definitely say that what he did was cool, was to lean the right hand of the piano over to the right, but it definitely was EQ'd probably a little bit too aggressively for me. I'd like a little bit more lows in it, a bit more mids in it, like mid, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1K. I think a thickness in there would have really benefited it in the 1K area. But the problem is you've got to control the bass, because if the bass is so massive and wide, a couple of people said it was super wide. If it's too wide and too big, which is what happens with those kind of basses, then you are going to kill everything. So I think the lesson in this is controlling the bass a bit more, allowing the kick to have a little bit more lows, bringing back, once the bass is controlled, a bit more body to the piano, and I think you'll be in good shape. But the vocals sounded phenomenal. Steve's insanely talented, and Bob, you did an amazing job. And all around, I've got to let you know, for Academy and non-Academy members, we know this has been a very, very difficult song to mix. It's very difficult indeed. And when Daryl mixed it live, he just did fader moves on the console, barely any EQ and compression. He did all fader moves. So I think automation is another secret of this mix as well. Thank you, Bob, for doing that. I really appreciate it. It creates great discussion. All right, next up is Benjamin. Benjamin says, good day to all of you nice people. Here's my mix of Little Empire's song, Wide Awake. This one's really super stripped down. So for those of you that are fresh or joining the Academy or want to join, this is one of the kind of songs where you can really add your own elements and remix. You can remix any of these songs, and you can use all of these songs in your portfolio. And there is a lot of songs in there, a lot of songs, and you can be used in your portfolio, and you can do whatever you like and use them to get more work. So here's my mix of Little Empire's song, Wide Awake. It's a really strange song for me to mix as there's so few elements, and I have an idea it needs to be super radio, pop, and dance. I was chasing the idea of making a lot of decisions that I feel out of my current level, so this can be very important feedback for me and would continue my development in a good direction. Thank you for your time and feedback. And as you can see, people get in and help out in the Academy and give advice. And Chris is really good at doing that. He's fantastic. He's here. And Chris is last. Stick around, Chris. Stick around, everybody. Chris is a great mixer. All right, here's Benjamin's version of Wide Awake, which is a very simplistic song.
Why do what I do? Things that take away from you. You say I'm drifting, but I'm screwed if I'm distant from you. I'm living too many lives. All these worlds don't come by. There's always one left behind. Just wrap the moon around me so with the moon I don't fade. With the moon I don't fade. Just wrap the moon around me so with the moon I don't fade. With the moon I don't fade. Help me to say while I'm wide awake. You shake, shaking me wide awake. Shake, shaking me wide awake. Let your heartbeat move me wide awake. You shake, shaking me wide awake. Shake, shaking me wide awake. Wide awake now. Can I be done losing time? Go back to when my life was mine. I miss how everything would shine when I knew I was fine. Try to get out. Lock the door to my doubt, but feelings still come about. Just wrap the moon around me so with the moon I don't fade. With the moon I don't fade. Just wrap the moon around me so with the moon I don't fade. With the moon I don't fade. Help me to say while I'm wide awake. You shake, shaking me wide awake. Shake, shaking me wide awake. Let your heartbeat move me wide awake. You shake, shaking me wide awake. Shake, shaking me wide awake. I'm going way too fast, so busy pushing past. I never stop to ask how to make it last. I'm going way too fast, so busy pushing past. I never stop to ask how to make it last. Just wrap the moon around me so with the moon I don't fade. With the moon I don't fade. Just wrap the moon around me so with the moon I don't fade. With the moon I don't fade. Help me to say while I'm wide awake. You shake, shaking me wide awake. Shake, shaking me wide awake. Let your heartbeat move me wide awake. You shake, shaking me wide awake. 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 Shake, shaking me wide awake.
I always enjoyed this song because I wrote it with Lily like where Erica's sitting, like she was sitting on the couch there, I was sitting over here. We just wrote the song, and we went in and just recorded it and wrote it all at once. And so I have really fond memories of that. And I do remember like programming the dumbest drum beat ever, and that's just addictive drums, and it's boom, jack. I mean, it's just so, so many, so many issues. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like so simple, so basic. But whenever I hear it, I'm like, oh, I wish somebody would get in there and do like some really great drum programming. And I think, Benjamin, I think your mix all around, for somebody you're saying who's got little kind of, don't have a huge amount of knowledge yet, I think you're doing an amazing job. Absolutely fantastic job. It's interesting. I think I agree with everybody that the vocal needs to open up. I think it's a little mid-rangey. I think it could have some more air over it. It's very like, help me, It's just, yeah. I think if you're a newcomer, go in here, or anybody, existing member, if you haven't actually worked on this song yet, go in there and try some different ideas, put some different parts on it. This was always going to be like the simpler song, and I was always going to do more in it. And it ended up getting released like this, like very, very simplistically. So yeah, have a go at it. I really like what you did, Benjamin, considering you're being so humble and saying that this is really early on in your development. I think you did a phenomenal job, absolutely phenomenal job. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscription button. That would be absolutely amazing. It's amazing having all of you incredible people watching and helping out and giving great advice. And the positivity, obviously, is always overwhelming. And of course, it is a Black Friday, so you can go and join the Academy just here. Just go to producelikeapro.com and get in there. Yeah, I agree, Angry Clown. You can keep it simple. I just feel like it needs a little bit more movement. Yeah, Pete's saying like some 16th note sequencing and stuff like that. But on the whole, Benjamin's mix was fantastic. I just want to hear some more movement in it, and that's got nothing to do with what Benjamin's doing. What you could do, Benjamin, maybe on the kick and the snare is like get a maybe put a delay in there without any high end on it. So it's just moving some more mid-rangey sound. Ah, thank you, Travis. That's very, 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 very wonderful. Yes, please join us in the Academy. There's a massive deal on the moment. We'd love to see you in there. All right, Patrick Larson is up next. Doing the cover of I Got a Feeling. This is my my attempt to mix this lovely song. Did use Warren's mix as a reference track. Andrew Shep's Omni-channel is used quite a lot on this mix. Feedback is very welcome. Thanks to lovely members, I did some tweaks, and Chris Ibbotson was spot on with the frequency on the floor. Okay, well, Chris is coming up soon. Stick around for Chris's mix. All right. I Got a Feeling. I love this song. It's one of my favorite Beatles songs.
I've got a feeling deep inside. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I've got a feeling I can't hide. Oh no, no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, yeah. I got a feeling. Oh, please believe me. I'd hate to miss the train. Oh yeah. inside. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a feeling. Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Really, really, really nice. It's just a pleasure because this is one of my favorite songs. So I grew up loving this song, and then being able to like cover it with somebody like Steve, who's such a great singer. Steve featured incredibly heavily today. It's like I said to Eric when I was driving in this morning, I was like, make sure you get a very diverse range of songs. He's like, sure, I'll get a diverse range of songs, as long as at least 3 of them have Steve in them. Steve's been in 3 of the 10 songs. It's the Steve happy hour. So I really like it. The guitar on the left is a little bit too wet for me. It's like I may have mixed it that wet as well. I think in general, just so everybody knows, this is the Jay-Z Amethyst mic. And so the whole song was recorded just using that. So one mic, the Jay-Z mic, over the top of the drum kit again, over the top of the floor, pointing. Was it Amethyst? Yes.
BB29.
The what?
BB.
Oh, sorry, the BB29, the Jay-Z BB29. It is pretty gluey. That's what makes it, you know. It's really, really nice. So over the top of the tom, floor tom, pointing towards the snare and the other side of the kick. And that's it. That's the whole drum sound. So you're a little bit, you know, put it this way, you don't have a lot of choice what you can do.
That's right.
I would agree, though. The kick is pretty massive. So I would probably bring down a little bit of that 60 boost, just a bit. Then tighten the high pass on your bass, Patrick, just a little bit. Just high pass it a little bit more. And then the high mids just get a little splatty.
Oh no. Yeah, I got a feeling, yeah.
I think it's just a tiny bit too much reverb on the guitars, because a couple of people were saying they wanted more reverb on the drums, which you could do. You could set up a reverb, make sure you don't have too much low end going into it, or else that make that low end issue worse. But I think what it is the guitars sound very wet and the drums sound super dry. So I think I would back off the reverb on the guitars, maybe add a little bit to the drums, just a shade, without any low end going in there. Nothing below 200 going into that reverb, maybe even 250. And then I think that will help a lot.
I got a feeling.
I do like that little delay on it, though.
I got a feeling that keeps me on my toes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've got a feeling. I think that everybody knows. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I've got a feeling. Yeah. Woo. Everybody had a hard year.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the energy in the track. I think Patrick did a really good job, but kick boost down. I know it's really the only way you can define the kick drum when it's only one mic is to put some 60 on it, but a little less 60, bit more aggressive high passing, a little bit of reverb on the drums and no reverb on the guitars, and I think you'll be in really, really good shape. Fantastic work. Really impressed. All right, we're getting near the end. Here's the martini. Raoul is next with his version of Salisbury Hill. Oh, wow. Dear Plappers, this beautiful song inspired me to add some Pink Floydish synths on the transitions. There you go, some additional production. Yay! I did pan and leveled at first and grouped into buses and bounced out just to keep better control on what the guitars are playing in every section. On the master bus, I use a little bit of multiband compression to polish the mix in the MS EQ. Would love to share a screen from the master bus as well. Wow! Look at that. And this is another thing we do in the Academy is people share their settings. When you like something, we ask them how they did it, and they let us know. It's rather wonderful. All right. Raoul's version of Salisbury Hill. Very excited to hear.
Climbing up on Salisbury Hill, I could see the city light. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out of the night. He was something to observe. Came in close, I heard a voice, standing, stretching every nerve. Had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information, just had to trust imagination. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Sir, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Hey, back home. To keep in silence, I resigned. My friends would think I was a nut, turning water into wine. Open doors would soon be shut. So I went from day to day, though my life was in a rut, till I thought of what I'll say, which connection I should cut. I was feeling part of the scenery. I walked right out of the machinery. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Oh, back home. When illusions spin her net, I'm never where I wanna be, and liberty she pirouette. When I think that I am free, watched by empty silhouette, who close their eyes but still can see. No one taught them etiquette. I will show another me, till the day I don't need a replacement. I'll tell them what the smile on my face meant. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, I said, you can keep my things, they've come to take me home.
Fantastic. Yeah. What's interesting is like there's some things I like about this version of the mix, which I wish were in the other version of the mix. We've heard this twice now. So what I liked about this mix is I liked the way the drums were big, and I loved the body on the toms. But what happens is that became the most predominant feature of it. You know, it all became about the low end. So, like, I like the body, don't get me wrong. I like hearing that. That's fantastic, and that's what was missing on the other one. But, of course, it's far too loud. So those toms need to tuck in a little bit more, but I do like hearing the body because it gives... For me, I like the toms to be... I like them to have a place and feel great. And some more verb on them brought down would be really, really good. The vocal is a little lackluster. It needs to be. She's got a beautiful voice. I'm not connecting with it. I think a couple of people were mentioning about the dry, wet, dry thing. I didn't really understand why it got dry for a minute and then got wet again on the vocal. It just seemed like it was just done, you know, for the sake of it. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of that. You know, for me, it's just like, just get it in a place because it's got a linear feel. You know what I mean? It's got a linear feel, and I would make sure that you know, I would make sure that this feels really, really beautiful all the way through. It's like it just tends to sort of change a little bit too much for the sake of it. So get me that vocal, get it breathy, get it up front. Make sure you use the right kind of compression. You know, it's just like, I really would want to sort of feel this consistent kind of like area, you know. It's the vocal's the most compelling thing about it. Mikhail is like one of my favorite singers, and I'm not like grasping onto it, Raoul. So what I would do is I bring those tom downs, bring the vocal up, work from a vocal perspective, get that vocal to feel really like it's like something you can connect to, and then add other things around it. You know, it's like the vocal's the biggest deal for me. That, you know, the electric guitars that I'm doing are very easy to mix because they're quite compressed from the nature of the amp, and they have a tendency to just kind of slot in there. But give me less of that 60 boost on the kick. There's a little bit too much going on there. Yeah, it's a little too linear. The guitars feel a little too safe for me, which is fine. The mid-range cut on them at first was maybe a little too aggressive, so open them up just a little bit on the top and the bottom. Get that vocal really up front. Less boost on the 60 hertz on the kick. Maybe a tiny bit more clickiness to it, just a bit, so it doesn't have to be as loud to be heard. And bring those toms down, and I think you'll be in a good position. It's a tough one because with no bass guitar, it's a lot of work. All right, last but no means least is our very good friend, Mr. Chris Ibbotson, who is rather wonderful. Chris says, was looking for a track to remix and thought Stay New by Little Empire would be a good challenge. I have an old idea that had this bass line with a cool rhythmic filter, so I thought I would use that sound. Lots of tuning and shifting on vocals and create new lines and harmonies. Decided to change the pitch and format of the voice to give it a different sound. Wondering about how to end it, though. It was a lazy filter sweeping at the moment, and I need some ideas. Now changed it to drop in pads and fade out. I was really experienced in this genre, so not sure I've got the low end right. It's really intended for a radio audience rather than a club. Peter S. suggested I do some referencing. Anybody have any good references for this? Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Marvellous. Lots of great commentary going on. All right. Last but no means least is Chris Ibbotson.
I need you to stay. Your touch is on my mind, but I've already written you so many rhymes. You're all that I could find, but I've already missed you so many times. You must be from another world. Your whisper makes my stomach up. Chose each time you say my name, and pain each night you come home late. I need you to stay new, the rest is getting old. Now that the gold that's shown around me only radiates through you, I need you to stay new, it radiates through you. Stay new, stay new. If every building dropped to dust, if every car turned into rust, if all the money burned up, I need you to stay new, I need you to stay new. I need you to I need you to stay new, the rest is getting old. Now that the gold that's shown around me only radiates through you, I need you to stay new, it radiates through you. Stay new, stay new. Let's never change, we're at our best. But what has loved you after death? Stay the same, unlike the rest. But what has loved you after death? I need you to stay new, 'cause the rest is getting old. I need you to stay new, 'cause the rest is getting old. Cause the rest is getting old. I need you to stay new.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. So, Chris, so for people that are new to the Academy, just for a bit of clarity, most of the songs that were chosen here were done with one mic. So, you know, when it comes to drums and stuff like that, it's not typical that they would have one mic, you know what I mean? So there's quite a lot of stuff in here that has full-blown productions, stuff that was taken from tape, something, you know, we have loud slamming, like huge drum tracks, all the way down to one mic, 3 mics, 50 mics, well, probably not, maybe 25 mics. We've had every single thing. So all of the drum stuff. Then you've got all of the remix stuff, and Chris, wow, that was unbelievable. So another thing, so that wasn't how the vocal was sung. So as Chris was saying, he changed the format of the vocals, so he gave Lily a whole new vocal sound. I've got to ask Chris, please, can you send Eric these multi-tracks so we can have this as a dance remix? I just absolutely love this. Have you remixed Chloe's song yet? Because, dude, if you can do a mix like this with Chloe's song, Chloe's judging the mixes, so I'm staying out of it. Chloe's going to pick the mixes. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, so good, so absolutely amazing. I'm so impressed. I have nothing other to say other than you took a totally different song and made a brand new song out of it. This is a brand new remix. Yes, it's got melody and stuff like that, but all of the production, everything is completely redone. Chris, absolutely phenomenal. And once again, just join us in the Academy. I know there was a lot of examples with one mic on the drum kit, and I know there was a troll that said you can't mix drums. Well, you know what? It was one mic. But this is absolutely phenomenal. I love just how incredible everybody here is and how they help each other out. And what an amazing place. Thank you ever so much. If you haven't joined us, come and join us. There's every genre done, and you've got wonderful people like Chris and everybody here. I mean, P and Anita and Steve, you know what I mean? Steve, changed Chloe's vocal. Yeah, it's a remix competition. It's not a mixing competition. It's a remix competition on the Chloe song. So you can change it completely. You can do whatever you like. It's a remix competition. It's not a mix competition. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, Andrew, I agree. It's not cheesy at all. Wonderful work. Chris, you rock. Chris says he's going to send you the multi-tracks. You make sure you get it up.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Hey, Sparky. Wow. So good. I'm speechless too. Really amazing. Thank you, everybody. You absolutely incredible. If you're new, we've got every single style and genre. There's, like I said, with drum-wise, there's huge recorded off tape drums, put into Pro Tools, massive rock stuff, all the way through to pop, country, you name it. Everything is in there. So please join us in the Academy. I absolutely appreciate everybody here who's taken the time to do this. Really wonderful. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'm going to go and have some lunch because I think it just arrived. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir. See you in the Academy. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir. Goodbye.